Good Sunday morning, everyone. Mark and Joey back here on another perfect day of golf, and we're going to do an encore show because it is the Canadian Open. Typically, we'd wait till Monday to recap it, but we've had a glorious 3 days at the Canadian Open. Perfect weather, great golfers. The leaderboard is full of all the best golfers in the game, including one of our Canadians, which was one of my picks. Hadwin, that's close enough that he might be able to pull off the win. And so we thought we'd come on the show, recap the standings where they are right now, and talk about who we think might win that event, and why or not why is it important. You and I have a difference of opinion on this, and I'm going to let you jump in here because the number one guy on the leaderboard. Oh, actually, number one guy on the leaderboard is my guy, Kuchar, right?
He's tied.
Yeah, tied for the lead. So, but he was one of my picks along with Hadwin. So, and you had Simpson and you had Rory.
Yeah.
So we're lighting up the leaderboard with our picks.
And Stenson, who's only 4 back.
Yeah.
But yeah, quick thing. First of all, we're glad to see Canada get such a great representation. All the players are loving the course.
Yeah.
The weather's been perfect. We couldn't have asked for a better week. So we're proud of Canada that everything worked out for us this time. The practice rounds were awful. They were in sweaters and tunics and stuff, and
it turned
they got a good week of golf here. And the course has done everything the players kind of asked them to do, which was make it difficult for the U.S. Open. 12 under through 3 days is so respectable.
4 under
these days.
It is. Yeah.
On the PGA Tour, that rough is nasty. Yesterday, only like one person shot under 2 under, which was Rory. I think he shot 6. Everyone else was like they were shooting par, and like commentators were like, well, that's good today. So it was very difficult. So proud of Canada, proud of the representation of the golf course. So I just want to say that real quick, and we're happy we got good weather for these guys.
Well, you're right about how tough it was, because I think it was 12 under through 2 days. So it
that's
didn't do
what I
much
mean. No one went.
at all.
The 2 leaders didn't go. Kuchar shot par.
Yeah.
Like I said, other than Rory going 6, which he got to go out a little bit earlier, no one went low. Like I said, most rounds were around 2 under. Like 68 was a common score, or 68 to 70 really. So that's a proud thing for a golf course these days to be able to hold guys on a Saturday.
Because it's a short course.
Well, it's par 70. So what people don't understand is when it's 68 like something. I think it's 68, 87. When it's par 70, that's really like 7,100 because you eliminate 2 par 5s. But what it proves is it's done what they needed, and which is why it's going to go back there and it's going to go to St. George's. These guys want U.S. Open prep. Well, they got it, man. You got to be in these fairways. There was a little bit of wind yesterday and made it that much more difficult. But if you're not in the fairways, you're not scoring. They made the rough thick, and they really held their own. And I'm just proud because a lot of times the Glen Abbey is 22 under. They don't want to change the course because they think guys will complain. I don't think that's the case no more because of the date, which is before the U.S. Open. So they actually want this so they can practice.
Yeah.
But I think it was awesome to see yesterday how tough it was. I think it's going to be another tough one today. The wind's up. It's going to be super hot. Will someone go low? Will someone not go low? I don't know. But I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Cam. We got a great week. We got lucky with the weather, and it sounds like our event's standing quite proud with all the players. So I think so we're proud of the course, proud of the event. But yeah, let's move on because not only did the event do great for other golfers, it did great for our homegrown golfers, and this is what there's actually debate I had with my sister that wanted me to do this video today, which was. For us as Canadians, is it important to have a Canadian win, or would I rather see Rory McIlroy, who's one of the greats in the world, 4-time major champ, definitely a Hall of Famer with that many majors. Who knows what he could do going into his 30s? And so we had a debate going, and I was saying Rory McIlroy is more important to the event, winning, because I feel like, first of all, that the crowd is on his side. Obviously, he's a well-known, recognized golfer, one of the best ever. Well, not maybe the best ever, but he could be easily with a good 30s. Already has 4 majors, but more importantly, I think this event needs to see bigger names. So I'm really looking at the fact that, no offense, but Jonathan Vegas won it twice. I don't even know.
Furyk's won it twice.
Yeah, but Furyk was even way back when. I mean, you had Tim Clark one year. Yeah. Kind of a bunch of, I hate to say no names because on the PGA Tour they're making millions of dollars.
Well, they're actually names on the PGA Tour, but traditionally they've been a little older. That's why they come to this event, because a lot of the young guys used to skip it with the British Open. Right. So there was a lot of those recognizable names, but not impact players on the tour.
Yeah, and here's the way I look at it. You had Jason Day one year. You had Dustin last year. If you had Rory this year, I just think that helps the event. A Canadian winning, obviously, is great for us. I'm trying to think worldwide, not Canada. And that's why I'm saying I want Rory to win. I'm going to be cheering for Rory. I think if he wins the event, it'd be a bigger deal for the golf tournament overall amongst the PGA Tour tournaments than it is a Canadian winning.
Well, I disagree on that point because no Canadians won this since the 50s. and we'd like them to wait until you're on tour. But it would be amazing to have a Canadian win. It would be an amazing year for Canada with what the Raptors are doing. That we could have a Canadian win the Canadian Open, maybe on the same day, or no, one day removed of what the Raptors could do.
Could go back to back. That'd be
So
something.
I think it'll be fantastic. I disagree with your point about who wins this tournament and why they come. The new date, the reason they're coming is the U.S. Open. So you're going to get the guys who want to play the week before will all play Canadian Open. The guys who want to skip a week will all play Jack's tournament. This has got nothing to do any longer with the type of players that we have. This is all built on the U.S. Open. It's going to be good or bad, depending on how guys are going and how they do next week. Take this week's leaderboard. If that leaderboard goes and duplicates itself in the U.S. Open, we'll have a flood of players playing the Canadian Open the week before the U.S. Open.
Okay,
So I think more. I just want to say,
all right.
Other than who wins, I think more the date is everything now.
Okay.
It's everything.
But here's a funny to that point here, and this is where my argument makes sense. Does Hadwin have any chance to win the U.S. Open?
Of course he does.
No, he doesn't. He has no chance.
He hits it down the middle all the time. The guy has been. He's as they call him the ATM. Even on tour, he's a missing guy. He's not in the top 10 week to week.
He doesn't win.
He's not a guy week to week that's in the top 10. But this is a guy who always finishes top 50 of the FedEx Cup. 1 year in the top 30. 1 year in the top. He was 15th 1 year. This guy makes money. This guy finishes in every tournament. All it takes, and we all know in the U.S. Open, it's going to be close and it's not going to be a birdie fest. Hadwin's the type of guy with the right confidence going in. If he wins this week, I would say even plays well. I think we have a Canadian with an opportunity to win the U.S. Open because the course is set up the same this week.
Right. Tree
Tree-lined, tough rough, and this guy keeps it in the fairway, and that's why he's doing well.
Do you know why I know Adam Hadwin won't make the...
He's not in it?
He's not in it.
He didn't qualify?
Didn't qualify.
I guess you read that way more than me.
So I had to
but
say
you
that
didn't,
I wanted to see you go on a 3-minute rant about why a guy not playing the
you
event.
You could have helped me with that
Could
one.
have got in.
You do more reading than I do on the details.
He's not in the event.
Oh my God, that's awful. How didn't he qualify?
He's not high enough in the world rankings.
Oh
he didn't go to any Monday qualifier because he wanted to prep.
You know what? We're going to do a show on that because we actually had a discussion about this Monday qualifier crap. And we have lots of feelings on it, but that's not getting in the way of the Canadian Open. So Adam Hadwin, just win because we need a Canadian Open.
Here's why it's even more important Rory wins. Rory can win the U.S. Open. If he can win this week, he's found his driver. So if Rory goes back, you talk about guys coming back seeing that they needed to see it work. They need to see a guy winning the Canadian Open, win the U.S. Open to see it work, or at least have good back-to-back wins. Yeah. Even if it's a Brooks or a Justin Thomas or a DJ who are still here this weekend, go on to win the U.S. Open, that's important. But that's why I think it's important that Rory wins and goes on and has a great U.S. Open, and he's the guy who has the most potential to do that. That's why I want to see him win. I think if he goes on to win this week, wins the U.S. Open, or top 10, like a good finish, and he goes, yeah, the prep in Canada helped me for this week because I found my driver because he shot +8 at the Memorial, I would say that's important. Hadwin winning, unfortunately, is great for Canada, but he's not in the U.S. Open.
Okay, I'm going to give you the best scenario.
Hold on, I'm not done. At the end of the day,
You're never done. I got to get in.
Who's coming back to the event every year? Canadians. Rory might not come back. If he wins and sees it successful, he might come back every year. So in my mind,
here's what I can tell you. Winning back-to-back weeks is almost unheard of on the PGA Tour. Almost unheard of. You can go back. The stats are probably enormous. However, I would love to see Rory. I would love to see DJ. I'd love to see Brooks. I'd love to see all the guys that are close. Thomas finish close in the top 10.
Yes.
Then go win the U.S. Open because I think if you win here, it's going to be tough to go back-to-back. It's always tough. It would be great if they did because we are the only ones to talk about the 3-cup trophy that's out there. The last time was Tiger Woods with the great shot in 18 from the sand trap. The one thing Rory can do, and the one thing any of those names we just mentioned could do, is they could win all 3, although it's tough to go back-to-back. But at least you'd have an opportunity. So it would create some excitement.
That's interesting, though. Even more to my point that Rory needs to win is Brooks, DJ, and Thomas have no chance. Unfortunately, they're at 6 under. But if Rory did win, and then win the U.S. Open, that cup would make a revelation, I think, back into the golf talks, knowing that if Rory won the British, he could win all 3. So actually, I want to talk about importance. That might be the greatest thing ever.
I got to go with you on that one.
Rory could do that. That's a long shot, but now that you mentioned, that's actually should be my point.
Actually,
why it's important.
The Canadian, we've talked about this on the show, is the fact they're not promoting this for some reason.
Not.
But this is actually now, with the new schedule, it didn't matter as much because we were 3rd in the old schedule. U.S. Open first, then British Open, then us. We're now 1st. And in addition to that, isn't this not sounding a lot like the Triple Crown in horse racing? 1 week, second week, 4 weeks later, you win the whole thing. So this is really starting to look like a triple crown of golf, and I think our Canadian Open needs to be marketing that going forward. That this could be a very prestigious cup to
Definitely,
get.
whoever wins. I mean, you got some major winners up there. They got to immediately say, now, blah, blah, goes in the U.S. Open with the hope to win the second leg of this cup.
Yeah.
I definitely think they need to start promoting that. I definitely think if Rory can do back-to-back weeks, that would probably promote the Canadian Open to such a high event. And I think it would get the cup talking, get people
And we already
recognized.
know that there can't be a Grand Slam winner. And that's most years. 2 different winners of Masters
right.
and
Like
the
someone like
PGA.
Brooks who said he doesn't
Right?
care about this event. I think if you saw Rory go for an attempt at this cup, might make him want to try this event. But I just think overall you need big winners on a consistent basis. We've got it a couple of times, but we had 2 back-to-back Jonathan Vegases. I just think that it's something that I would like to see Rory win. I think it's better for the game of golf worldwide. Now, is it better than Canada? God, no. But is it better worldwide? I think it is. I'd like to see Rory win, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going to change my opinion on this. You made a great point there, and really we've been talking about the cup, and I think they haven't done a great job, as I mentioned. But I would love to see it happen. Get the 2 cups, because no one's going to win. We had a discussion on the Grand Slam, and Jack was even on TV talking about the fact that he thought it'd be easier this year because they're closer to each other, and guys can maintain the momentum. In fact, when our Open Cup is in there, is now you're 1 back-to-back. And 4 weeks later. So the same player could stay pretty hot. During a 6-week period.
He won't play much between the U.S. or British either. So
he'll have 1 or 2 events.
He won't go out and have bad weeks. So you're right. That there's highly possibilities of it happening now. I think the other thing, too, is if Rory wins, not even if he doesn't win, who does the most media?
Yeah.
Out of the guys Rory does. So you want Rory to do at the U.S. Open for the 30-minute conference session on why he feels good this week is because he mentions Canada about 197 times.
He's already been talking a lot about the tournament.
But he's been talking it at the Canadian Open.
Yeah.
He takes this week, which has obviously already been very good. I think regardless of what happens today, he'll be pretty happy with where his game is. He'll talk about it in the U.S. Open. If he won, I think you'd hear him say it like 100 times in his freaking press conferences and interviews about how this is propelling him to feeling good about the U.S. Open. And then if he had a good week, he gets talked about. No one else really at the top of the leaderboard gets the attention like Rory does. So that's why I'm just looking at it going, where do we get our name out more? We can't complain about our field. It's already one of the best fields of the year. I mean, we got 4 of the top 5 FedEx Cup. I think we got 6 top 10 in the world. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying to continue it, maybe even get more guys, maybe to get Phil, maybe to get Jordan Spieth, is Rory winning it will get talked about a lot. And if he has a good U.S. Open, it's going to continue to get talked about. So I just think he has the most potential to bring our event even higher and higher for years to come. Hadwin would not only because obviously we're passionate about our own country, but would only make a big deal to us.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would really care. He's not even in the tournament next week to talk about it or the media. First of all, that's ridiculous because if you win the Canadian Open, you should get an event.
Well, we should also just talk about the U.S. Open qualifying.
Anyways,
a lot of guys are unhappy about
there's
that.
no one else really there to really do it. Matt Kuchar would be your second pick. But at the end of the day, what's Matt Kuchar going to do? Although he is in the media a lot, he's never won the FedEx Cup.
He's been playing well this year.
He has 2 wins this year. He'd be your backup pick. But man, you want Rory this year for sure in my mind. That's what's going to get done unless Brooks, DJ, or Thomas go shoot.
They have to
go. Honestly, if they went 6 and got to the number, which it's 12 right now, you'd still need a lot of guys to shoot par.
You're looking at a 60, 61 from those guys to get there.
What's that? But 8 under, 9 under,
Well, 9, 10 under. They're going to have to do that because the other guys are going to go under if they can go that low. So, but I have to agree with you. Good points on who should win the event. Kuchar, when we look at our wagering, I have Kuchar and I have Hadwin. I'd be happy to have either of them win at very long odds.
Like Stetson, Rory, Simpson.
Yeah, so you're right in there. So we're dominating the leaderboard. Talk about guys who are on the leaderboard. We're on the leaderboard with our picks. So we're happy about that. So that's what we're going to leave it at. I hopefully you have a great day watching it. I'm hoping it's a close finish.
Who are you picking to win today? Are you sticking with your guys?
Well, sure. I got to stick with my guys. I think Kuchar's tailor-made for this course. I think Kuchar can win this and win the U.S. Open. I don't think he would win the British is the only thing.
The U.S. Open.
Yeah, because of the kind of player he is. He can keep the ball in play. He's got a winning attitude this year. He's got a winning attitude this year. I think it's a real different thing for him than it has been in the past. Already won twice this year. I think he's looking to win. He's getting later in his career. Where obviously, money doesn't matter. So he wants to add some wins because he's had a lackluster career. When you think about how good he should have been, he's blown up in a lot of chances to win tournaments, but he won 2 this year. He needs majors, and I think he's got a shot next week. Don't think he'd win the British Open is my only worry.
Right.
Rory can destroy the British Open course with his driving.
Kuchar finished second in one of the British Open against Spieth. I'd say, first of all, you never put down PGA Tour wins, and I want you to know if you're at home and you're yelling at me, I'm not on the PGA Tour, so I'm not talking from the professional golfer that I am, because obviously I'd love any of these guys' careers are on the PGA Tour. That's my goal, is to be playing with them one day. But as an analyst, as a fan, Kuchar did not win big events this year. He won the Mayakoba one in Mexico, and then he won the Sony Open. So, I know, again, I'd win them, but if you're looking at like the guys he's facing today, those were not big events that he won.
Yeah.
Now, is he consistent? Yes, but he's consistent because he gets into the lead and falls apart. I don't see Kuchar closing out today. I think the event's too big for him. I think there's too many guys that can win. You want like a percentage of winnings. Webb Simpson can freaking win out of nowhere. He's ridiculous the way all of a sudden he wins. Snedeker has won a bunch of times. But really,
also just remember too, Snedeker is a Canadian Open winner.
Canadian Open winner.
And was actually winning, side story, was actually winning the tournament and left to have his baby.
No, that was Hunter Mahan.
Was that Hunter Mahan?
Snedeker won that year.
Oh, he won because, sorry. Same story, different guys. Sorry about that. But that's where he left, and then Snedeker came up and won,
Yes. But here's the thing. Bold prediction. Mark this down. Write it down. Rory today wins by 3+, and then he wins the U.S. Open by 5 or more.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you believe in that, get to the windows right now and make that bet, because it'll be huge. And we'll take that.
Wins by 3+, and then 5 or more at the U.S. Open. I think it's a run for Rory.
You don't even need to win by 3 strokes. You're going to bet Rory to win this week and next week.
Yes.
It'll be massive odds no matter what.
Lock it in right now.
Anyway, guys, enjoy the golf. We'll be back tomorrow morning to summarize and recap who does win this tournament. We're going to enjoy watching ourselves, and way to go, Canada. Tomorrow night, our NBA Raptors are playing for the championship, up 3-1 over the Warriors. So
that would be a bet. Big weekend win the golf.
Can you imagine?
Golf, back it up with a Canadian.
Couldn't even
that would be big for us in Canada, for sure.
And you'll watch tomorrow on the basketball side. Even if you're not a basketball fan, watch tomorrow night's game. Over 300,000 fans outdoor watching big screens in Jurassic Parks all over the country. 37 they had in the last one. There'll be way more.
Mississauga has put in 25,000 people a night in their area. It's
into a park.
Insane. But real quick, all I'm going to say about the Raptors game tomorrow night is the ticket prices were $120,000. We're getting into all that tomorrow with the big game tomorrow. Every sports show is going to be basketball, injury updates, the whole thing, but that's ridiculous.
Well, you know what I'm going to mention too, since we're here, is golf is one of the great charity sports of all. I don't know how many of you follow that, but golf donates to charity all the time. It's amazing. So it's a great sport for that. We've made some, and all sports are. I must admit all sports are, but because we're so tied to golf, golf they have a fantastic
specific
program.
Events too, even with charity in the name.
Yeah. Here's what I want to recommend is that, if you can afford tickets, then you can afford to donate. If you're watching at home, you haven't paid anything for the coverage, then donate. My special charity that I'm most interested in, Sick Kids Hospital here in Toronto. There's St. Jude's in the United States do the same thing. Helping kids, it's just unbelievable. I'm also type 2 diabetic, and juvenile diabetes is one of the worst diseases kids can have. So you know what? How about we use these events all the time to donate? If you can afford a ticket, donate some money, because obviously you have the means to do that.
Right.
And if you're watching on TV, donate what you might have spent on a ticket, because I'll tell you what, today's 4D coverage, we're watching it better than you can ever watch it live. So we've got great value out of that. But donate to these charities if you can. They're huge. We're big on donating to children's charities. I have 4 kids and I have 5 grandchildren. Right. We've been extremely lucky with the health of our children. So we make a plea to all of you, in addition to what golf does on its own, to help out.
Yes, and the players have been great. We always talk about how much money they make, and it's still ridiculous. They fight over it, but at least they do spend a lot of time with charities. They give a lot back, whether it's basketball, hockey, golf, football,
they
soccer.
Use their celebrity
leaving out sports, I know for sure, but they do use their celebrity. Even Drake does a lot of good for it may not be his actual money, but he gets people motivated to donate charity. So I must admit, athletes, you make big money, but you do use your celebrity and your money for good. So congratulations to you guys. That's another reason why I think Roy will win. He's turning into a big lovable grandpa right now, and
he's not even 30.
I know, but doesn't it sound that way?
He's changed his whole life.
I kind of like it. He's done great stuff. So shout out to all the players that donate and help us out and raise money for all these kids, and continue to grow our sports as well. What Rory and Brooks and all these guys being at the Canadian Open has done, Kawhi and them being on the Toronto Raptors is done. So shout out to everybody, and let's enjoy some good sports today.
Yeah, let's do that for sure. Enjoy. We'll be back to recap it all on Monday morning.